So, welcome back to the Culturally Distinct Podcast. It's your boy DJ K. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. It's a great show, great time, great week. I'm glad you guys tuned in. You've been rocking with me for a long time. I want you guys to continue to rock with me by the end of this year. You know, by the year of 2025, I don't know, it might be something else. But as of now, I'm glad you guys tuned in. I'm glad you guys continue to tell people about the show, what we got going on, you know, how we do it up here. You know what I'm saying? I like to celebrate happiness, blackness, successful energy, you know what I'm saying? In Houston, New Orleans, Atlanta, New York, LA, who else? Puerto Rico. I'm going to all these other places in Mexico. I just like good success and good energy. Much love to my sponsors over at 605 Adult Beverages. It's springtime is a perfect time right now to get those adult beverages. The good thing about 605, it's infused with cannabis. Ooh. Ooh. So much love to you guys. I appreciate you guys for being a sponsor. Also, my partnerships over there at Red Coral. Much love for you guys. Thank you guys for not just streaming culturally distinct domestically, but also internationally. I appreciate it, guys. We have an interesting show for you guys today. And we have an individual that came on the show that's on the show today. I wanted her to come on because she has a different perspective about some things in life. I'm not saying that she's like a AI presence, but she's in a human form, but she has a introspective way of thinking, looking at things in a positive manner, right? And I wanted to have that discussion with her today. I'd like everybody to welcome to the show Miss Sheba Roy. Yay!
Yay! Woo! Thank
You
you.
got hand claps. You see that? You can hear it right now. You got hand claps.
Turn up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm so interested to find out what you're going to talk to me about because that introduction, so I'm AI in human form.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So before we get started, me and Sheba had that conversation coming into the studio, and she was mentioning some things I never heard of in my life, right? And if you guys know about like a AI and a robot, like I'm not saying you're a robot, but like the way that a person responds to certain things, it's like, are they real? Are they like MKX or MK Ultra or whatever, the Illuminati stuff like that?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an interesting conversation, an interesting time. So, Sheba, tell us the people where you from.
Okay. I am Sheba Roy. I'm actually from Houston and I grew up in Tomball. So I usually tell people I'm from Cashmere Gardens, but also
Okay.
Tomball. I am a full time entrepreneur.
Okay.
I practice publicity. I say practice publicity because, I mean, if I was a doctor, I might be practicing medicine. So I'm like a brand manager, content marketing strategist, but my favorite is like PR and publicity.
Okay. But you also, hell, you left out of the key component. What
Where?
made you, right? You're from Houston, but you have what inside of you? Your roots.
Oh, well, my family came here from Lafayette,
Yay!
Louisiana.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I gotta get a shout out to
I
that. You know what I'm
moved
saying?
to,
Hey.
I guess, Frenchtown, and that's how we ended up in Cashmere Garden because it's adjacent to Fifth Ward.
Okay. Okay. So Cashmere Garden, you gotta educate me. Cashmere Garden is 610 and
16 in Lockwood.
that's outside of 59, right? Or right
Yeah.
off 59.
Yeah. So like you'll pass the 59 junction and then right when you hit that corner, you can exit Lockwood, make a left, and then if you make a left on Kelly Street and hit a right on Lavender, that's where
She
we're
knows them
at.
streets. She knows the streets. But that
I am
area is,
AI.
but that right. But that area is like mad
Mm,
gentrified right now, right?
not yet. So they're trying to buy our property
Okay.
so that they can build one of those overgrown dog houses
Yeah.
on it. I'm not going to sell it because I have a goal of, and this is connected to something else I'm doing, of putting a community garden or a garden of
Oh,
some
that's dope.
sort there so that I can have a regular farmer's market
Oh, that's
on the
dope.
yard. Yeah.
That's dope.
Because, I mean, it's a food desert. And the reason why
Yeah.
I say that is because I think if I can recall, I mean, it's been probably about 3 weeks since I've been over there, but there's Crab Junkie, shout out to Crab Junkie,
Hmm.
on the corner of Kelly and Lockwood.
Okay.
And then up the way, I think there might be a Burger King. But like, there's no real solid grocery store or like you can't just go to Popeyes. You know how some areas
Yeah, it's
have
not
like 5 fast food restaurants right next to each other? That's not the case.
right.
Like I know that probably some of the most food that's sold is at the Hopkins, which is a corner store that has like gambling machines in it. So that's the type of area that we're talking about.
Well, they actually, they're rebuilding. They have a golf course that they just put there.
Oh, you're talking about East River 9?
Yes,
That's owned by some white men.
I know, but I'm just saying with that being there, and then they're also fixing the streets, the roads, they're gentrifying, they're buying homes
Yeah.
because they see the influx of people that's leaving the third ward areas, the downtown areas, and the surrounding, and they're coming to Fifth Ward and Sunnyside.
Yeah.
So that's why they're redoing the land and everything. But to your point, it is a food desert because anywhere, matter of fact, let's see, from Sunnyside to Third Ward. Well, Third Ward might have a couple, but Sunnyside, Cashmere Gardens.
Are you familiar with the complete communities?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am. I've been there 11 years, so but it's not too many. What is that? Grocery stores, black-owned grocery stores, or formal markets.
Right. So that's why it's really important. So I also work at the Acres Home Chamber of, well, it's not the Acres Home Chamber of Commerce. Everybody calls it that, but the proper name is Acres Home Chamber for Business and Economic Development.
Okay.
So I have a contract with them. They're one of my clients, and I just, signed on to build community, help them with membership and this really cool platform that we implemented called Growth Zone, where members get to sign up, and we'll have this like info hub, but it sort of operate as like our own Facebook. So I'll be trying to get that set up within the next month or so. But the farmers market is important.
Absolutely. Especially
mean-
now, with these foods with all this pesticide in it. And then when the lunar eclipse is coming, people are afraid that, we're going to have different types of air, different types of
Well, I'm gonna tell
water.
you the very real and honest truth, and you're not going to get this in mainstream news.
Okay.
So maybe I am like AI,
Exclusive.
but this information I have really just come from the divine.
Okay.
And I've had it for many years, and I was sharing it on my YouTube, and I was like, you know what? No one's listening, and you sound crazy, so go ahead and put a cap on it for now. But ultimately, we're going to get to a time where people are going to be lined up for cans of beans. So you're going to need those gardens. You're going to need those farmers markets and those places where you can buy good food, because it's not going to be readily available to you. So like if you look at how funds are distributed to organizations from the government,
Yeah.
they only really want to give money to organizations that are providing a goods or service to the citizens directly. So that is going to become the way we are handled.
Okay.
We're not going to get handled by the government. It's going to be these agencies like nonprofit organizations that we go to that supply us with what we need. So if you're looking for a way to make sure that you're okay in the next 10 years in this country, start a nonprofit organization and give something away to the people. You will get funded.
So you saying starting a 501c3 is the best way to go?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make sure that you're sustained in the future when it's hard,
Yeah.
the only way you'll be able to do that is if you have an organization that provides for the people.
Right. That makes sense. Well, and another thing you said that was important, I think that, like when I was growing up in Louisiana, we was all we wasn't taught how to farm, but we had somebody in our family that was a farmer.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we knew how to plant a bean. We knew how to cultivate the soil. We knew how to till the soil up. We knew how to do that type of thing, and then we knew how to watch out for the crops.
Yeah.
Right. So I have a benefit. I know how to plant a garden.
Oh, well, I
Tomatoes,
need your help
onions,
then.
collards, onions, everything. Yeah, but here a lot of people don't know what that is. They you give them a shovel and look at some dirt. They was like,
I wouldn't know what to do. I tried to plant some stuff at the beginning of COVID and everything died.
really?
I put it in pots, and I didn't know. I think a lot of people were planting at that time. All my stuff died.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Doom, 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 doom.
I know. That's why I want to get the people to come and plant in the garden, because I know I don't necessarily have the green thumb, but I can help y'all sell the goods.
Well, I look at it like this: planting the seed is like a relationship,
Okay.
right? If you don't put the seed in the ground properly, well, one, if the soil isn't good, it's not going to grow. That's one. Two, if you don't monitor and put the seed in the ground properly, it's not going to grow. Two, if you don't water it, it's not going to grow. If you don't have enough sunlight, it's not going to grow. So you need attention. You got to put your hands on it.
Yeah.
Just like any business relationship, any relationship with a man and woman, or man to man,
Yeah.
man and woman, whatever, you got to put your hands on it.
You know, you said something really important because that's basically how I live my life. I basically live my life on a prayer.
Okay.
My life is a moving prayer. But my prayers are like seeds that are planted for me. So I know that, if I ask for whatever today, it may not come today.
Right.
But as long as I continue to water that seed,
Absolutely.
that dream, that desire, it will come to me. Like even being here talking to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was meant.
Yeah.
It was meant. Hey,
Yeah.
man,
Talking
shout out
about
to
all
Holly.
the things that I've been hiding,
Shout out to Holly for our introduction.
Yes, my girl Holly. I
Yeah,
love her.
Holly, crazy self. Good people. Let's talk about your PR journey.
Okay.
Why you decided to get into PR on the PR side?
I think PR chose me
Okay.
because just like you said, you're a Gemini. My rising and my moon are both Gemini. So that means I'm a great communicator.
Okay.
I'm a great writer. I'm a great speaker. I know how to make connections and share information. Because one thing about PR is like anybody can have a great story, but do you know how to tell it and do you know who to tell it to in order for it to help you grow your business or your brand? So when I started, it was with my podcast. So I had a podcast I started with 4 friends in 2016. And, we were just grinding it out. And we would talk about it every day. Well, I would talk about it. I mean, I was the person, I was the mouthpiece. So I would talk about it every day. Every post I made on Facebook would be like, hey, today's going to be a really sunny day, but did you listen to the last episode? Because you need to. And so we got to our 100th episode and we were like, okay, we're going to have a live show.
Okay.
So we set up the live show at Darwin's Pub. They got a really cute stage there, just by the way. And I was like, I want this guy that I have been courting, this writer for the Chronicle, for probably 6-7 months.
At this time.
Yes, I was emailing him and texting him on Twitter all the time. And I was like, can you write about my show? You want to write about my show? Because I
Okay.
think maybe I had seen him. I don't know if I saw him writing about something that I felt like was podcast adjacent, but I just figured, why not? So finally, he's like, okay, I'll write about your show. So he comes out to our recording the week before the live show, and then he came to the live show, and we made like the front page of the Zest in
Wow.
the Chronicle. And that was such a moment for me because my grandma used to read the Chronicle, my parents read the Chronicle, and the Sunday Zest was like a big deal. And I was like, this is a pinnacle moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made me realize that, like, okay, maybe I have a knack for this. So, I mean, it takes work. Because when I started to do it as a business, I realized it was much harder.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because it's about relationships. It's about relationships, but it's also about a really excellent pitch. So if you don't have a story that is going to connect with the audience of the outlet that you're reaching out to, they're maybe going to ignore you. And you can't take that personally.
PR journey, right? So what are some things that taught you lessons in life? Because I know you told me you're a manifester, you're a person that it chose you, but what does that really mean? Because some people have careers, and what does that mean when a career chooses you?
So for me, it means that public relations and publicity, because they're really two different things, right? But public relations, branding, media, all of that stuff aligned with my natural gifts and abilities. So it's an easy career for me because naturally I'm going to get on the phone and talk to somebody. Naturally, I'm going to be typing all day. Naturally, I'm going to listen to you talk and say, wow, that's really powerful. Somebody should hear about that. So like, for example, one of my friends teaches, and actually he and I have the same birthday, but he teaches a Prince music class at U of H. And I told him months ago, I said, this is something that people would write about.
A Prince? Like the
Yeah.
artist Prince?
Yeah. It's totally cool.
Well, the artist known as
Artist
Prince.
formerly known as Prince. But he teaches the class at U of H. And sure enough, like 2 weeks ago, The Defender wrote an article about it.
Okay.
So like that's the kind of eye that I have when it comes to just anything. Like that's a story that's relatable because I just have a natural intuition that kind of pings whenever there's something that's human about a thing.
Okay, so you have like you said it intuition, but I call it's more of I believe in Michael Gladwell's book, he called it a maven.
Mm.
The maven is the person that has foresight.
Well, I didn't always appreciate it, and it made me feel shame for a lot of years
Okay.
because I would get in trouble for talking too much, or I would get in trouble for knowing things, or saying things that like people didn't really want to talk about, but I had sensed it intuitively, and I would be like, "You're sad about such and such," and they'd be like, "You're a weird girl."
So you're like clairvoyant.
Yeah, claircognizant. So it's like where you
Oh,
just have like a knowing, and you don't really know why you know stuff.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's okay. Like I don't feel any type of way about it now, but it took me a long time to come to terms with that being a gift
Hmm.
that could be used for my work. Like I mean, it's like this. Let's say we're talking about an event that you have coming up and you want publicity for it. Well, we need to have a full conversation so I can listen to you talk. And there will be something in the conversation that stands out to me that I know
Hmm.
is like blood in the water for the journalists, like sharks would want to eat it, you know?
Right, right, right.
So I'm like, we need to tell them this. And a lot of the time, it's something that the client will not want to divulge. But I'm like, but this is the thing that's going to get you the coverage, and you can't be ashamed of it because it's a human thing that maybe other people are experiencing too. I mean, and a lot of time I keep those secrets for people. Like one of my clients, she did finally come out and announce that she had breast cancer and she ended
Mm.
up having a mastectomy. But when we were doing her event, I was like, that's really a thing that people should know. But I kept that secret for her because she did not want to reveal it yet. So, of course, we found another way to get the publicity because, I mean, it was a really powerful moment anyway. But, I mean, I just know what's going to hit because I listen to my spirit and follow my gut.
Is there such thing as bad publicity?
Yes,
Okay.
because there are things that can be exposed about you that you can never recover from.
Where is that bad?
Yeah, well, it depends on what you want to be known for. If you want to be known for, can we cuss?
Yes.
If you want to be known for the bullshit that you're doing instead of the good stuff that you do, then no, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Now, if you're able to spin it
Hmm.
and make it a good thing after it's happened, then maybe all publicity is good publicity. But like, I mean, when we're looking at what's going on with Diddy, like some of that stuff is going to taint his image for the rest of his life.
I don't know. I don't think so. I
It
say that,
depends on what type of person is looking at the situation.
but the thing is, all right. So, and I didn't want to even talk about this, but since you brought it
Okay.
up, you know what I'm saying? I just think that it's a lot of stuff that we don't see or hear or know the facts. Of
Absolutely.
course, propaganda and people with different channels, and they have a agenda. Of course, they're gonna promote that, but I'm not saying that he didn't do none of the stuff. Not, but we don't know all the facts.
Absolutely. But here's the thing, and here's the reason why good publicity is important and bad publicity can be very damaging. Most people are not that intelligent.
That is true.
And the general public who is reading the things, watching the things, are these people.
Okay,
Because I think, what is it, like 80% of the population is like,
85%.
okay, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, led astray.
So it's like,
All right. So as a person that's in PR,
mm,
how? But so what I'm trying to ask. I have it in my mind, but I'm trying to ask it a certain way to make it make sense. So as a person that's in PR, you know how to manipulate the people.
absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, anybody in marketing or sales or PR knows probably these things.
So okay, so let's talk about that. The media manipulation.
Well, I would prefer not to
You use that word?
Well, no, you can
Okay.
use that your word because it is anytime you're getting somebody to do something that you want them to do,
You
and,
manipulating
and
them.
you're manipulating them.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I don't think that the word is bad, but I prefer not to get people to do things that are bad for them.
Okay.
So like, if I'm going to work with a client, I don't want to work with you if what we're selling to somebody or what we're encouraging them to do is going to be harmful to them.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you the most difficult work that I've ever had is getting people to do what's good for them.
For themselves.
Yes,
Okay.
because people are conditioned in this society to do what's already not good for them.
But that's not. But your job is to make sure that the information gets out. Your job ain't to make them have a mental health
No,
uh, awareness.
no, but if I'm like, let's say if I take on a if
Yeah.
I take on the role of marketing for a certain something,
Okay.
we're trying to sell tickets to something that is good for people. The difficulty, because if it doesn't have wine, liquor, turn up attached to it, it's like,
Absolutely.
why would I go to that?
Hookah.
Yeah, why would I go over there and
Yeah.
learn about, fibroid health? I don't know, girl. Just go off and get your hysterectomy. I don't know what to tell you.
So what? That's true.
I mean, like, I guess because I'm not going to beg you to do what is healthy for you, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm just giving you from my perspective and my experience. When you're offering somebody healing, healthy, unless it looks like or feels like the turn up,
Okay.
it's very difficult to get them over there.
Well, why is that a passion for you? Because the thing is, I believe that whenever it's a person's time, they're going to receive it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a song, right? You can hear this song over and over and over again, and really not get the understanding of it or the context of it until you go through that thing and you're like, I hear every single word.
Now I get it.
Now I get
Absolutely.
it, right?
Well, it's not that struggle work is a passion for me.
Okay.
I want to make that very clear
Okay.
to the audience. It's not. Don't bring me any. Thank you. But helping people is a passion for me.
I got you.
So if a client comes and says, I really need to start this, because you do have to start. And let's be very honest. When you start anything, it is rarely at the hugeness or the level that it's going to be at when it's at maturity.
Okay.
So if somebody says, I want to start this, it's about, and I mean, this is like a real client that I have. Like, she has fibroid awareness skating events. So if she says, I want to do this, so maybe year 1, year 2, it's not that crunk,
Right.
but we have a ball and we got it done. So year 2, we build on that. So like, it's a passion for me to grow things.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily that I like struggling, but I mean, I am a grower. Not vegetables and things like that. I probably would kill plants.
Right.
But businesses, brands, I mean, let's build them up.
You're a grower.
Yeah.
Can you take no for an answer?
Can I take no for an answer? Yes, but I don't generally have to.
I'm just asking because I'm going off of what you're speaking
Yeah,
of.
I mean, people tell me no,
Okay.
and
When I say that, I mean like a client. You have a client, and it's something that they're passionate about, and you see the the branding side of it. You see what it could do for their client, but they can't see it. They can't see the future.
oh yeah, I mean, people kill their stuff all the time, and I say that because there's this need to control the outcome.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying, okay, I'm seeing this because I'm seeing the future vision of it.
Okay.
I see how expansive it could be. Man, this is a skyscraper, but we got to do this first. And a lot of time they'll say no.
How big does a person's ego have to be in order to listen?
How big does it have to be to listen?
Yeah.
Not very big.
Oh, well, I'm just saying because some people.
I mean, if you're going to be open to instruction or information, but here's the thing:
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to a service provider and you're saying, "I need help,"
Okay.
I have an idea,
But I want you to help me the way I need help.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Because if you knew how to do it, honey, it would be done,
that is true.
and you wouldn't be over here asking for help if you had the blueprint.
That is true.
Because you probably have a great idea, but going from point A to Z is troubling you because you don't really know how to even start. So you're not going to go to somebody and say, hey, I want you to help me start this, and then say, no, move that over there. You don't even know what because if you knew, you wouldn't be
That's
over here
true.
asking for help. So there are a lot of people who kill their own stuff because they go ask for help, but they really want, and this is what I say all the time, a doer. They don't want a thinker.
Okay.
You want somebody to do exactly
Right.
what you think needs to be done in order to build it.
Right.
Cool. Get you some doers. If you want somebody to help you work a strategy and really plan it out and build it, then you go look for a thinker or a strategist or someone like that. So people need to make sure that they're very clear on what kind of help they're looking for.
So let's talk about muse management.
Okay.
How did that come about? And the name. What does the name mean?
Well, the name means muse, which is like a, inspirational goddess, beauty.
Okay, muse.
Yeah.
Muse. M-U-Z-E.
But I thought I was being different with the Z, and then I went to Google after I had established it, and I was like, oh, this is not that lit, but I'll still hang in there. But the reason why I use that name, because the name of my LLC is Creative AF Consulting. But I mean, I did so much spiritual work under that. And I was like, come on, I'll read your cards. Let's look at your astrology chart. And I mean, I was on YouTube for ages, just like by myself reading cards and talking shit.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, it's time for me to go back to work. Which, when I say that, I mean like,
Hands on.
yeah, kind of out here in this material,
Yeah.
and not to call it low level, but like
Low
not
frequency.
in the clouds of like, I'm talking to God and this is what we're channeling. Like that's a different type
Like
of work.
you're saying low frequency, basically.
I don't want to make anyone feel like I mean low frequency, but I mean like, yeah, just like
That's what it is.
it's, it's immersed in this material in the world, So I'm like, I got to use my skills, and this is what I'm good at. So I'm gonna name it Muse Brand Management, Muse Marketing and Management, but it's still Creative AF.
Okay.
But the reason why I chose that name is because I had noticed a lot of people using things that I had already put out or doing things that I was doing, but not saying, thanks for that idea.
Okay.
Or I was really inspired by you.
They just took the idea and just.
Yeah. And I mean, it's fine. I mean, we all get inspired by different things.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, gosh, if I'm your muse, just say that. And that was what I heard. And I was like, okay, I'll call it Muse because no one's going to say it.
Well, if you're creative, right? And they have creative thieves out there.
Yeah. You think, oh, talk to me about this.
Not because a lot of people can't create. Mm-hmm. For instance, good example. When you see like somebody has good content.
Yeah.
I'm going to use Nightcap as a good example.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. Them dudes are funny, right? But they're recording with how their personality is. But for some people, they screen record their talent and get likes and views off of somebody else's creativity.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is taking a screenshot of something that they created.
Oh, yeah.
So the thing is, we're in the age, and I could say it, we're in a low vibration age where creativity is at a low level.
And then everybody's using AI.
And then that's dumbing them down. And also, I think that a lot of individuals that are creative to the low vibration eye, they can't realize that's a creative because you got so much false fake things out here. You know what I'm saying? You like, what is that? That's weak. Versus I could just use AI and create a whole nother.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So creativity is dying.
You think so?
Only person I know that's creative and it's known is Elon Musk.
And he's so up here. Like, he's always talking about things that the average person is just not discussing.
Right.
And it's always in the news because it's like, where did that come from? But he's just like,
he has these ideas that's like not like they're unknown.
I mean, you have to be that kind of thinker to do what he's has done.
Right.
You know? Like you have to be supremely intelligent, outside the box thinker and open to when an idea comes to say, oh, that was really cool. Let me go try it. And I think a lot of people, everybody has the ability to download an idea. So even the people who are coming to you and saying, hey, I got an idea, that is a download, but you're in your own way, so you can't get the map. Mm-hmm. And then when the person who's like, I'm clear enough to see the direction, you want to tell them no. Because the problem isn't that people can't download the information. It's in the execution of it, Well,
it's different phases too. Because I don't think I'm a creative person, but my creativity is the composing of it. I could get someone that I know can do this, and I know they're good at that, and I could put it all together and make a masterpiece.
Yeah, yeah, but that is creative as fuck
Right.
too.
It's
You
like
know?
it's like a producer with
Yeah,
music.
but I think we have to acknowledge that creativity isn't just painting.
Correct.
It's not just producing music. Any human being is a divine creative because
Absolutely.
we're all housing God energy in our
Yes.
bodies. And if God is the creator of the universe, then we too are creators. But I think that the biggest issue is that everybody wants to be the artist instead of just being like, well, what is my gift?
Okay.
Because maybe my publicity is creative as fuck. So that's how I use it. I do have like a little art class that I used to do on some manifestation astrology, but my paintings were terrible. Like I would never release them or sell them to anybody.
Terrible to whom though?
To me.
Okay.
To me. Terrible to me. I'm talking about I would
Okay.
draw a stick figure
Okay.
on the
I got
canvas
you.
and be like, look how pretty. But it was just my expression. But like that, I know that's not my art.
I
You know
got
what I
you.
mean?
That
Like
makes
my
sense.
art is what I wrote and sent to the journalist who was like, wow, the impact that just had on me.
Yeah.
Because somebody sat down and told me their story, and I pieced it together in the press release in a way that, had the reader going, okay, damn, oh wow, okay, yeah, let me hit her up. Because, like, you don't have to have an excellent background in media to get a placement,
Right.
but you do have to have a good pitch,
Absolutely.
A
That's with
lot-
anything though.
Yeah,
That's with a job. That's with dating. You know what I'm saying? That's with anything in life.
right.
Going to the bank. Look, I need this. Versus giving them the layout.
Right.
Like,
So why should we give you the money? Pitch it to me.
right.
You know?
It's like, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that idea.
Right. Yeah.
You want me to fund this project? Tell me why I should give you the money.
Right.
You know?
Elevator pitch.
Yes.
You trying to get in front of the CEO? You got 15 seconds.
Honestly, having a good elevator pitch changed my life.
Really? How so?
Because when I first decided, okay, Muse is a thing, this was probably at the end of 2022. I went and spoke to a young lady, and you may know her. Her name is Miyoko McBride. She has a Heels Out dance class that she does.
Okay.
But she also is like a business consultant. So we were going to do some bartering. I was going to do some media, like some content and stuff for the girls. And so we sat down, and she was like, okay, well, you need a pitch. And I was like, okay. So she helped me put together this really dope pitch. And I was like, okay. So I memorized it, and I gave myself a networking goal. Because she had said, well, you need to go to one networking event like every month.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm going to all the networking events I can possibly go to. And I did. And I met so many people. This was like in 2023.
Okay.
And I memorized the pitch, of course, but I got so comfortable saying it that it was like at some
Second
point.
nature.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the people started believing me, and I started getting the clients, and I started actually doing what I said I was going to do. So it was like, it just became a thing.
What was it?
What? The pitch?
Yeah.
Gosh, I think I said, because I don't say the same thing now, of course. I said, my name is Sheba. I'm a brand manager, a content marketing strategist. I specialize in helping my clients increase revenue and visibility through something else. But it was like,
It's something simple, but
yeah,
it's impactful.
because really it's like a formula. What's your name?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Right.
How do you help people?
How can it
pretty
help
much
me?
it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah, but I think people, overcomplicate that, because I definitely was, until I sat down with her and I was like, oh, wow, that was really life-changing.
Yeah, and you sat down and actually did it, because it's actually simple if you just sit down and do it. Then you get to rehearse it every day,
Yeah.
and like you said, it becomes second nature.
Yeah, but instead of saying, okay, well, I'm going to get in the mirror and I'm going to repeat it until I remember, I went outside and I was doing it. So I was starting to, and this is a really important thing, it's like I was starting to, and maybe everybody's not a reader, so they probably don't do this, but I was starting to read the reactions of the people. So if I got one kind of reaction from a person, I'd be like, okay, well, I need to change this, or I need to do this, because they seemed like they didn't like it, or they seemed like they didn't believe me. But I noticed that I hesitated when I said this part, so that means I need to work on that.
That makes sense.
So like I just studied myself
Yeah.
And that is how I grew to where I'm at today.
So mine was my elevator pitches are different.
Okay.
So I need a individual to partake in it in order for it to work.
Mm.
So what I do is I just to ask them. I really don't ask them. I tell them. Look, this is what I see. I see you have something that's of value, and the people need to see it and hear it. So when can you come?
To your show?
Yeah.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
always come. They never say no. Because the thing is, I never give them an option to say, okay, well, let me work. No, when you gonna come? They be like, well, I could come on, and it always works. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
I'm talking about anybody. Like it could be celebrities, whatever. And if I have that relationship with them, or if I'm just kind of close to them, they trust me, I got them.
Yeah.
Easy. It's like easy.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to start interviewing you, but I do want to know. I do have questions.
Go ahead.
How long is it taking you to grow to this point?
Oh, well, I don't know. I would say since the pandemic, since I started the podcast, it's more of it's more defined on my approach because I'm more intentional now.
Yeah.
Then I didn't have nothing to do it for. I always had relationships with people, and I just never had a reason to have that conversation on a one-on-one.
So what's your podcasting goal? Like, what's your next step for your
A
show?
goal?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's not for me. It's for people.
Okay.
Because the thing is, people need a platform,
Yeah.
right? And if I think it's dope, I want people to see it.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, I'm giving service, kind of. So I
Yeah,
call
it is.
I call it my pulpit. So I'm preaching from my podcast versus the church.
Okay. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Hey. Shout out to that. I gave myself a shout out to that. Yeah. So anyway, before you start interviewing me.
I'm done.
All right. So it's going to be a part two. Let me ask you this. You mentioned a lot about spirituality, frequency, vibrations, balance, the stars, sky, God. Where did that come from? And I'm going to ask you this question. I'm kind of going to bounce it back. How long did it take you to get to this point?
5 years.
Okay.
5 years. And I'll tell you how it started. In 2000, was that 2000? Okay, so in 2018, my coworker at the hospital, I worked in one of the major hospitals in Houston, major. I'm talking about all the billboards, okay? And I was a corporate buyer, so I spent billions of dollars on medical equipment, breast implants, penile implants, all the things. And my coworker died.
Why you gotta put penile implants in?
Yeah, I mean, when you need it, you need it.
I got you.
So my coworker died suddenly. She had a heart attack that I felt like was from work-related stress. And so it made me realize that even though I knew our job was stressful, it was really stressful because I also inherited her work. And I was overwhelmed completely. And I think that died.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Okay.
I still got this one.
Okay. But the audio's still going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Audio right here.
So anyway, I was overwhelmed and I was already podcasting and I was like, I want to take this to the next level. So my goal was really for my podcast to become the thing that was monetized fully. I mean, we were already running ads and accepting money, so we were making some money. But I realized I was creative as fuck. So I was like, I'm going to go into business and I'm going to be a creative consultant. I didn't even know what the hell that was.
You created that?
Yeah. And so I started, and this young lady was like, I need to get in touch with this designer in Dallas. She lived in New York. And I said, I will go to Dallas for you. And I will go and meet with the designer.
Okay.
And I did that. And on the way back, I had this interesting moment where I kind of saw myself helping to set up like a new economy. like where we had a different way to trade. Like, yeah, we bartered, but we traded something else. Like maybe it was electronic money or I don't know. But there was a new school and all this other stuff. And I was like, that's really weird. Like, why would I see that? That's crazy. And then when I got back, Nipsey Hussle had been killed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm done. Like, I just felt so overwhelmed by the future at that moment because I know he was doing a lot of really great work
for his community.
Right. And so I guess to me, it was kind of like a mental break from the stress of work and from just the desire to, and this is what I kept telling those people at my job after that. I got to have a laptop and be at my house with my kids. Y'all are tripping. Give me the computer. I already know I'm supposed to have it. So, I mean, at this point, I was already like, oh, I feel like I'm going crazy because my intuitive abilities were kind of like, I just didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know?
It was a stress.
Yeah, because I felt like I was going crazy. So, for the next year, this was like April, right? So, for the next year, I'm just working. Still drinking very heavily because I didn't share this with you guys, but I used to have a drinking problem where I would drink whiskey from the bottle every day. So, anyway, I was still drinking fairly heavily. And then I stopped drinking. I stopped having liquor at my house. That was the big thing. When I moved to a new house, and I was like, I'm not going to have liquor at this house. So I stopped having liquor at my house. That was the year before. So it was about a year. Okay. That I stopped having liquor in the house.
Okay.
The pandemic happens. And I'm like, okay, if I want to be, because my dream was to be an entrepreneur, to support myself, to not have to go to this job.
Yeah.
That was killing me and apparently my coworker, right? And the pandemic hits. And they gave me a laptop and sent me to be at home. And I was like, no fucking way. They finally gave me, yes! I was like, they finally gave me the laptop. But I was like, so did I have a premonition? Or was I like manifesting? Like which I was, and then so I was crazy again for like 2 weeks, right? Because I was like, well, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Right.
And so I started to really get into my spiritual bag because I was like, am I crazy? Or are you talking to me? Like, am I being instructed by the divine creator, or am I losing my mind? And so, of course, I just kind of started to clear out things. Like, I was like, I'm not going to drink because at the beginning of the pandemic, my first inclination was to go and buy whiskey. And because, I mean, I was stressed out.
Right.
So I realized then, if this is happening to me, then other people are also going to their lowest vibrational point to cope. And that's when I realized you're not crazy, you're psychic. And it's okay. But I realized too that I had to learn to manage that ability because it made me a little bit emotionally unstable. So that's why I say it took me about 5 years to really get to this point that I'm at today, where I'm able to actually do the work that I'm supposed to do, because I stopped doing creative consulting to go do my spiritual work. And I realized probably about 2 years ago, whenever I was like, okay, I got to go outside, that I was avoiding this work to keep doing that other work. And it's like, how long are you going to pray before you go do what you're supposed to do?
Right.
So, yeah.
So it's a lot of that, but
I know.
but I want to say this. Now, I understand everything what you're saying. One, the spiritual work takes place, right? Basically, it's like therapy.
Yeah.
You're doing a therapy.
Shadow work, yeah.
And then with the therapy, you understanding yourself, and you start getting into your spirituality, right? Second, I just want to, this is my opinion on that. You said God is talking all the time, right? Me personally, I think God is always talking. We're just not listening.
Yeah.
Right? So where the clarity, is clarity?
You could say
clarity.
The clairvoyance.
I say clarity.
Okay.
Clarity.
Clarity.
I was thinking about clarence.
You were talking about a whole different word.
I'm thinking about clarence and clarity at the same time. But the clarity in it is when you have no brain fog or no distraction, or like you said, it could be drinking, it could be food, it could be sex, it could be anything, right? Stress. You're not having a clear mind where you can listen so you can understand what was going on from God's voice. So I understand 100%.
Oh yeah, and I mean I said out loud because I knew I had been addicted to the alcohol and I had
Right.
a serious dependency on it. If I'm going to be addicted to anything, I want to be addicted to divine. That's what I said.
That makes sense.
So like, I mean, I might have looked really unstable to most people, but like, it didn't matter because I had been so abusive to myself for decades. Because of course, I grew up in a way that made me feel like I was nothing.
Right.
Primarily because I was different, so I felt ashamed of myself. And in order for me to do the work I need to do, to be the divine messenger that I really am, I have to be okay with who I am.
Correct.
You know, because I can't hide. When you ask me to come on your show, I can't be like, I don't want to go because I might talk about weird stuff and people might not like me. Oh, fucking well.
Oh, well.
You know, everybody's not going to like you. The bottom line is, do you like you? And I always tell people this. I told my 19-year-old son this earlier last week. You need to be your primary partner.
Right.
Like, you and you go together. And anybody who you have a relationship after that, do y'all like that person?
Yeah. I tell everybody that being selfish is a good thing.
Yeah.
So people say, you're selfish. Go, okay. Because who else is going to take care of me like I'm going to take care of me?
Literally no one.
So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So last question.
Okay.
The future. What's the future for Muse?
Well, the Sheba Show is starting.
Okay. Shout out to the Sheba Show.
Shout out to the Sheba Show,
Sheba
man.
Show. Double less.
Come on, the Sheba Show. And the Sheba Show is starting, like I said. So this has been something that I've been supposed to do for a long time.
Okay.
But I was just working with clients and making everything else a priority. And it's just time now for me to focus a little bit on my own projects. So that's starting. And I've got my blog, The Divine Society, that I'm working now. So like when I go to events, I try my best to cover the events from a journalistic standpoint.
Okay.
And put it on the blog. Oh gosh, what else? I mean, all my clients are doing great things. I'm just bringing on a new client today.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. We have an awesome new project starting that will happen actually next month in May, and hopefully multiple times future. So, I mean, for me, I just pray that I continue on this trajectory, which is steady growth, because I don't want to expand too fast.
Yeah.
I want to be able to sustain it.
Well, now I'm going to tell you something.
What?
You got power in your words.
But I know
So-
what I'm asking for. The reason why I'm saying that is because anything that grows too quickly usually falls apart a little bit.
Yeah.
So I want sustainable growth.
I got you.
I want sustainable growth because the thing is I could take on as many clients as possible, but are they aligned clients? Is it going to be struggle work? Is it going to be people who aren't looking for a thinker and looking for a doer? I don't want to just be looking for clients because I need money, you know?
I got you.
So,
Have you ever seen a tree that possesses fruit? You ever see it grow too fast?
no.
Because it grows when it's supposed to.
Right. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
It never grows too fast. What I'm saying to your point. Nothing grows too fast. If it's growing like that, it's supposed to do that.
Right. Unless you put fertilizer on it.
Not still though. A tree is not going to speed up the process to produce a fruit. It takes time.
Oh, okay.
Now, man might try to, do some stuff like
Right.
do some stuff to the crops, but a tree,
GMO?
because it takes time. It takes time for the roots to plant and ground. A root is not going to grow as fast like that.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
that's
I'm
what I'm saying. I don't want GMO success. I want natural
You want
progression.
organic.
I want organic
Organic.
success. That's why I don't buy followers. That's why I don't buy
That makes
followers.
sense.
I have met almost every single 1,025 of my
Yes.
followers in person. And I pride myself on that because I know those people.
They know you.
Yeah, we know each other. So, like, if I say, okay, I'm having my birthday party and I'm going to send you the invitation, but I got to narrow it down to a certain number because I can only fit so many people in the place. But there's a lot of people I can invite because I met them. I know they're here locally. And I like that because there were people who told me, and even Miyoko, when we first met, I had 150 on that page. She was like, I wouldn't show anybody this. And I was like, but why though?
Right.
Because the point is for me to show my growth. So I want them to follow me so they can watch me working, so they can watch me grow. So that's why whenever people are like, well, how do I get in touch with you? Follow me on Instagram, because that's going to let you know whether or not I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because if you see me working, then you'll say, okay, like it's my working portfolio, you know?
It's growing when it's supposed to grow.
Yeah,
You know, you can't grow too fast. If you have a tree, a top heavy tree with no roots, it's gonna fall over.
exactly. You're going
Right.
to look crazy like you don't do leg day.
Shout out to leg days. We gotta get we gotta get out of here, man. Look, you got jokes. So, guys, look, I hope you guys got some out of this, man. Because I thought this. How did you feel about it?
I thought it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was great, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna toot my own horn. I know I'm good.
It was amazing.
There we go.
And epic.
That is right there,
Yeah.
guys. Man, look, I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Look, hope you got something out the show. I know I did. Great content.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna come to the Sheba show
You are.
and turn up.
Yes, and the Sheba show is going to be
You feel me?
so cute. That's the first thing I'll say.
Oh, it's
about
gonna be. Don't tell me it's gonna be like one of those girly shows, like with fur seats and champagne glasses, and everybody has like white dresses on it.
it. No, actually, I'll come to you.
Okay,
I'll bring my equipment.
I got
to
you. Okay,
So, like, if you don't have chairs, I'll have chairs.
I'm keeping it gutter though.
Yeah, no, I want you to,
Okay.
because honestly, like you said, I mean, I come from a long line of Louisiana Frenchmen. You already know what that language is like.
Yeah.
So, me
Shout out,
too.
y'all. Okay, we know what it is.
We drop a MF
If you know
probably
what,
every 45 seconds in real life.
I'm gonna bring some daiquiris and crawfish.
Okay, you can do that.
Yeah, for the show,
Okay.
and just have it as display.
You can do whatever you want to do. Like, I want every episode that is focused on whatever guest to be curated around them. So that's why I want to come to you.
That makes sense.
Like, make it funky. Do what you like to do, because it's your space. You can
Right.
be the most comfortable there. I don't want to be inviting you into a space where you feel like, I don't know. Like, I'm cool in situations where you don't know what the questions are, but
Right.
some people are not. You know, they're like,
Right.
what are you going to ask me? I need to know right now how it's going to be. So,
Right. They catch you off guard and all that, you know. That's when they have intention. I don't have intention like that. I don't have an agenda to catch people off guard and make them look crazy. I don't do that. But, you know, some people do. I
They do.
get it. I get it.
you got good energy.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's divine.
Absolutely.
It's divine. You know, it's not me. It's
divine.
What dwells in me.
You, come on.
Hey,
There's a
I'm at
pool
church.
of greatness, just untapped ability in so many people.
Yes.
And if I do one thing before I get out of here, I just want to help people find it, because I did.
Yeah. Potential.
Yes.
The potential. Grab your
Yes.
potential. I like that. We gonna end the show on that. Find your potential. Right? So before we get out of here, I gotta give a shout out to my sponsors, 605, also Red Coral, much love, shout out. Guys, remember to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend where you saw this interview at. You already know me, Mr. DJ KO. Make sure y'all hit Sheba up. I didn't get your information. Sheba, how can they find you?
Okay, so like I said, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Muse Brand Management, and it's going to be at MUZE Brand, BRAND MGMT, so you can watch my working portfolio and you can see what's going on. Sometimes I share upcoming events, and you know, I'm about networking and business branding and helping people make money.
There it is. There it is. Y'all know what it is. Y'all make sure I hit Sheba up, and I'll be in tune. I'll be going to the networking event sometimes, you know. You guys tune in, subscribe. You already know all that stuff. I don't gotta say all that, but this is your boy DJ KO. I'm glad you guys tuned in. Much love. Appreciate you all. Peace out.